800-951-0592. Joe and Jason, Patriot Radio News Hour. A quick look here at the markets. The Dow is down 226. The S&P is down 23. The NASDAQ's down 85. Gold's up 37 right now, 2021. Silver is up 90 cents right now, 24.92. This market update brought to you by our friends at Y Refi. You've heard us talking about them, right? And especially now when we're looking at, do we have just a simple fiat problem, right? This isn't new. Jason and I, we talk about, hey, they're in a box. There's no good choice here. Raise rates, don't raise rates, lower rates, fight inflation, don't fight inflation, recession, all of that stuff. If you're tired of it, you don't want to worry about it. If you're worried about your money in Wall Street, you can take an existing IRA. As you know, the minimum is $50,000. Everybody, you guys know that, got to have $50,000 minimum, but you can get up to 10.25% return. And Jason, you decide the length. If you want to go a year, hey, I'm going to give you my 50 grand for a year. They're going to give you 6.25. You can go all the way to 5 years. At 5 years, they give you 10.25%. But here's the great part. There's no fees. Well, what if, you know what, something happened? You know what, guys? I just need my money back, right? I can't honor my time commitment. There is no penalty. You're going to get your full amount back to you. Whatever you invested, if you needed it early, they'll give it all back to you, that original investment back to you. Check them out. InvestYRefi.com. That's the word invest, the letter Y, REFY.com, or simply call them at 888-Y-REFI-24. Jason, the other big news of the day came from Jamie Dimon, obviously the CEO of the world's, well, at least the U.S.'s, because there may be some Chinese banks that are bigger, but I'm not sure. But the biggest bank in the United States, by far, J.P. Morgan Chase, in his annual financial shock, I guess, the annual letter, as they like to call it, the current crisis is not yet over. Even when it's behind us, there will be repercussions for years to come. And I think that's a very true statement. This is a very, it's not a very complicated problem, because as we know, it's simple. You bought these long dated maturities at 0%, 0.5%, 1%. They're now, we got a Fed funds rate of almost 5%. You're sitting on automatic losses, and these unrealized losses, when do they become realized? Well, they become realized when you have a bank run. They become realized when your deposits are under pressure. They become realized when your commercial real estate loans all go bust and you need to raise cash, because the only way to raise it is to sell those securities. And Jason, as Nouriel Roubini pointed out, hey, listen, we've done the math. It's at least a $1.7 trillion problem. And my guess is, Jason, it's probably bigger than that.
Yeah, we never get the truth from what's really happening. It's that's why they don't actually report these things. Janet Yellen, for example, she said, I'll go back to that. We're looking at a few banks. Really? Which banks are you looking at, right, Joe? Tell us how bad it is. What are you actually looking at? How what are you doing? What are you going to do to try to fix this, right? So yeah, it absolutely, I think, is worse than what you're reporting, Joe. I think it's always worse, isn't it? Isn't it always worse? And they just try to put a Band-Aid over a knife wound. Isn't that kind of what we're looking at? Putting Band-Aids over knife wounds, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's really kind of, that's a pretty good analogy when you think about what it is that is happening here. And you know what? I just got the Financial Times is now reporting that several commodity producers are being offered Chinese renminbis instead of dollars. And these are above and beyond. So we've talked about the agreements with Brazil. We know about Russia. We're talking about Saudi Arabia. We know the deal that was struck for that liquefied natural gas. And what was that? It was either the UAE or Qatar. I can't remember which. But according to the Financial Times now, commodity producers around the world are being offered renminbis instead of dollars and saying, hey, you decide. And what they're saying is these commodity producers, Jason, want to take the renminbis. But right now, a lot of them are having issues because they're not set up yet. Right? We don't have a renminbi bank account yet, right? So kind of like what I said to people out there, listen, you can't transfer money into another bank unless you have an account at that bank. But the Financial Times is now saying, listen, this whole not taking dollars thing is a lot bigger than what people are thinking out there. And there's a lot of commodity producers that are in the process of getting their accounts open so they can start settling trades in renminbis. Jason, again, this is just another one of these signs about, what we talk about with fiat money. This is when it starts coming to an end, when other people, other companies are like, man, I got a lot of these dollars. I got a lot. And some of these, they may have had accounts at Silicon Valley Bank, or maybe they had an account at First Republic, or maybe they have an account at Comerica or BMO Harris or some of these other, they're not, not to fail banks out there. And they've gotten worried. And now they're out there saying, you know what? Yeah, I think we're going to open an account because I think I'd rather have something other than dollars. And listen, that's why why do you buy gold? Well, you want to take some of those dollars and turn it into something that isn't dollars.
Yeah, gold is the ultimate place to get out of currency and put into money. Gold and silver is money. Renminbis and dollars is currency. You got to know the difference. It's that stuff's not money. Gold and silver is money. A commodity or a thing that you trade with something else is what money should be. Money is a cow is a thing that you want, or a car, or buying a house. But you use currency to trade those things back and forth, or you have money, which is gold and silver, which is, it's a commodity that acts as the in-between. And, unfortunately, Joe, we used to have the coins. You could just do it with the actual gold coins. We sell the pre-33 gold coins. That's what you're supposed to be using. But unfortunately, the Fed decided to take care of that. In 1933, FDR got rid of that, right, Joe? And so now you have to do it yourself. The responsibility is in your hands. You used to be able to save it in gold. There was no inflation. Now you got to get the gold and take care of the inflation, Joe.
800-951-0592. Jason and I will be right back after the break. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. We're tracking some things right now. I've got Brittany on the phone here. Another supplier is zeroing out products as we speak. I'll say this, $20 gold. I mean, we're well over $2,500 now, $2,530. Matter of fact, I've got a mistake online. I'll fix that mistake online. They're a little too high online. I'll get that fixed. I apologize. But today I've got $110 liberties, and then I have no more. And what I mean by that, and I'll just lay it out for you here, $1,230. So still way cheaper than 210s, way cheaper than a 20. But here's the problem. On the 101st one, this is how bad things get. $1,270 will be the price of $10 liberties after this. So buy them, and if you want to buy them all, buy them all. You want to buy one. Continue to put them away. Once again, gold's back at the top here, up $40 here, 2024, $2,024 right now on words that, and again, it's funny, and I just thought about this. Yesterday OPEC cuts over 1 million barrels a day. Just seemingly out of the blue. What did they see? What did they see? Today, we got terrible economic data. Jamie Dimon talking about the banking crisis ain't over, and he knows. And the odds of a rate cut coming as early as June skyrocketed this morning, almost doubled the odds for a rate cut this is just by June, Jason. And again, it may be, I hope it's not, but a lot of times it tends to be really fast. Everything's kind of, we're slowing down, but it's not bad. Things are okay. How many times have I said, hey, here in town, things look pretty good. Yeah, maybe it's a little slower. The guys are, I'm down from last year, but I'm glad because last year was too much, right? I didn't have enough help, and I've got enough help now, and things are slowed down a little bit. But we know how this economy tends to work. All of a sudden, it's like everything just stops all at once, and it kind of feels like everyone's getting in position for that to happen.
Yeah, Joe. If depending on the situation and how things move, the rate. Let's face it, Joe. Something bad goes on next week. That's tremendously bad. You start seeing the cliff for everything falling off, and they'll lower the rates next week. We know they can do that. They wait for their meetings and their prescribed times, and it looks very organized. Looks like there's no panic at all. But we know what can happen. Not only can they lower it in June on their scheduled meeting, but they could do it. They could do it in April or May easily. It all just depends on what emergencies happen. What are they pointing their finger at? What emergency has been concocted, if there is one, and how bad are the economic numbers, Joe? It's all just about how bad it's actually coming out.
It is very interesting. The Financial Times talking about the volume of, and they're solely talking about these commodity producers. So we're talking oil, we're talking gas, coal, wheat, soy. By the way, wheat spreads skyrocketed. Apparently, the wheat harvest in the U.S. Is not going to be what was expected. And then in California, think about this. They've gotten so much rain. It's so wet that the farmers can't get in the fields to plant. And they're saying that this is going to have a huge effect on food. We already know about oil prices, right? Gas is rising again. This is just this horrible perfect storm remember we started talking about the double Great Depression, right? Because we're like, hey, it's going to be a depression, but with inflationary prices. And it just seems like we're getting closer and closer to that. And I'll say this right now. If the Fed starts lowering rates, and let me tell you, if I was betting, that's what I'm betting. I'm betting on rate cuts before the end of the year. Matter of fact, I think there's going to be several rate cuts before the end of the year. We're going to see gold prices. I mean, we're already almost at a new all-time record, but we're $2,500 gold, $3,000 gold. Jason, these are all in the cards right now.
I wouldn't be surprised if they raise rates again one more time or two more times.
That's what they want to do.
They lower rates.
Yeah, they want to.
I won't be surprised if they do anything, Joe. They're, like you said, they've got only so many places to go. I think if things get worse and things continue to get worse, it's obvious they're going to go to their safest play, which is print money and get those rates down. Absolutely. That's exactly where it's going to end up. The last play they do before things really blow up is going to be that. Hyperinflation is always going to be printing like crazy. And that's where the end of the system ends up. So it's going to go there. I don't know about the time. They know the timing, Joe. I don't know the timing.
Okay. Just got a new update here. U.S. Silver Eagles, 2-week minimum. 2-week minimum. And we're already, as I announced earlier in the show, we're down to, we pull Silver Eagles from 3 different wholesalers, and they're in 3 different parts. We've got an East Coast, right? We've got a Midwest and a West Coast, right? And we pull from all of them. We're down to the last one. They just, Brittany just handed me a note here. They're the last one. They're still saying they can get some. The delay is going to be 2 weeks. So just be patient if you're looking for silver eagles. Again, though, the buy of the day, the buy of the week, it's been the buy of the week for the last 2 weeks. And this is it. The last $110 liberties at $1,230 at 800-951-0592. Jason and I wrapping it up. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592. Half of them are gone just like that. One guy just bought 50 of them. We got 50 $10 liberties left. Unfortunately, we're down to one supplier on those. This is just what it is. So what's going to happen here? Listen, it's not like there's no $10 gold pieces out there. There are. It's not that there's no 20s out there. There are. But they're just going to be, what they consider to be higher graded, AUs, BUs, mint state. And that just costs more. I mean, that's just what it is. We want to have, listen, our motto here, it's never changed. We want you to have the right gold at the right price. And the right gold is pre-33 in our opinion, because it's the most private way to own it, period. It's the only thing our government says is a collectible, and that's a big deal. That means you can buy it, sell it, trade it, and I don't have to give you a 1099. You don't have to fill out a form. You don't have to give out your social security number. I don't have to have my accountant worry about it. And neither do you. You're on your honor with it. That's the part we love the best. And right now, the best buy out there are those $10 pieces. I mean, man, think about it, Jason. In the last, probably 7 days, we've ran them almost every day. And I want to say we started at like 1180, right? And then it was 1190. Then it was 1200, right? 1210. Now it's 1230. If you want to pay more, and this is something Jason and I have been saying it all year long. If you want to pay more for your gold and silver, just wait. Because this is the perfect storm for gold and silver, which is what? The thing about last year, gold and silver were pretty flat last year. And the dollar had the biggest one-year rally, I think maybe ever, right? It was outrageous, right? Because they were raising rates. The dollar went to 120. Guess what? That wasn't because the dollar was strong, right? That was just all of the shenanigans. And now all of a sudden, Jason, these shenanigans are coming to an end. We may have the biggest drop in the dollar ever. And we're going to see that reflected in these gold and silver prices.
Yeah, I mean, gold has really been moving. 2023 is going to be a big year for gold. I mean, it's already if this was December, this would be a pretty decent year for gold already, just where it's at now. But Joe, who knows? I mean, with the things that you're talking about and the things that are appearing in front of us every week, what could the spot price be? The actual paper spot price by the end of the year, it could be a lot higher. If gold spot goes from this $2,000 range to, let's just say, $2,250 by the end of the year, if the supply is this short, what's the price you're going to pay? $400, $500, $600 above spot? Are you going to be paying $2,850 for a $20 gold piece if you have $2,250 spot, right, Joe?
Yeah, the only hope is as spot price goes up, as the premiums go, that you get some sellers, right? That's because you can't go back and make them again, right? I mean, these coins haven't been made in 90 years plus. Most of the liberties, let's face it, they haven't made a liberty in 100 and what? I can't even do the math in my head right now, but 115 years, something like that, right? I mean, you can't go back and make them. And plus, every mint in the world is running at least the capacity that the disc can be made. I mean, it's going to be one of those years. 800-951-0592. Jason and I, we're going to come right back with the Half Empty Cup.